Hi coaches, I've gotten a lot of requests to kind of explain all that's within the application that I've built. So I'm going to try and go through it as quickly as I can. If you haven't seen it before, there's definitely a lot of places you can find it on YouTube, and I suggest you see the Facebook groups to see more about pretty much everything, but I think the playbook is a good place to take a look at all of those items. So I've drawn a motion line here. I know all of you are going to be like, I'm going to show two things here. So again, also pause and play and pause as I go through something, and then there's the motion line. Obviously, just about everything else. Let's see. So here's the guy dropping back into zone, and then there's also a button here for running man-to-man. There's a bunch of things you can take a look at in here. Fly camera is kind of allowing you to just get wherever you want. I really like, as a coach, I kind of like to be able to look at it from what I'd actually see and have an idea of what I expect to see and what I expect to plan around. When you're working with any specific player, you can kind of get here and move around as far as, oh, okay, this is what this guy needs to know how to see within the playbook, at least as far as just some basic things, is when you hit save, I'm not going to do it right now, but it would take a screenshot of every, well, not every, but a lot of different viewpoints. So you get some stuff from overhead, defense, that's looking over the shoulder of the quarterback, the linebackers, about here going forward. So it's pretty powerful in terms of what you get for creating plays, and then also the big key there, as I think every coach knows, is making sure that people can use those, that your team and your other coaches and installs. So this is the part where I think things get really set apart from just a lot of tools that are out there. I know Army Edge is one of those ones that gets compared to, and obviously a lot of us use things like Huddle or just places to hold up film. There's just a number of things, Google Sheets, so many things that you as a coach need. And for us, this was like, okay, as a team, we need these things. Let's start to build out those portions that will really help us. So, one important thing is not only can you take the film that you just created in the playbook and the pictures from there, you have a way to share those, look around with stuff that's related. So in here, I'm looking at ace left slot quick pitch. I can quickly navigate to my concept of quick pitch. If I've gone through and I've added a little bit of film that I want to have for those things, then I'll be able to take whatever I put in here and combine it with any of the actual playbook stuff that I put in. There is a way to import huddle film, so and along with the breakdown data. So once you have stuff in here, you can search. So let's say you want to take a look at everything that's related to data. You can see that I've got some video, I've got my concept, I have all these plays. Some of these I haven't really added stuff to, but I know they exist in my playbook, which at least for me as an offensive coordinator, that's really valuable to be able to say, oh yeah, I do like this idea of dagger out of this formation, just to be able to quickly get ideas or remember things that, oh, this worked well for our team 3 years ago. Let me come back to it and see if we've got the personnel for it this year. Just about anything that you have, you can take a screenshot of, you can upload it. There's a lot of ways to capture that quickly. I think one that comes up for a lot of people is Huddle, so that's something I can import pretty quickly. It just, as far as the team goes, I think this is something really valuable, especially for younger groups where you're kind of always constantly trying to figure out who's a parent, who's not a parent, where did this kid come from. So you can take a look at all of your roster. Players can fill out their own profile with their information for us, it was really about making sure kids had the right tools they needed to quickly get out to colleges. And our head coach was just like, all right, I get contacted by 30 colleges every week about what kids you have, where are they looking to go, things like that. Okay, well, hey, players, fill out this piece, stick in your huddle links or your Facebook links or Twitter, whatever it might be, and then all right, boom, someone's asking me for stuff. I can share my whole team and their links and all the information that they have. A big piece that was important to us was just making sure not only do we have that more public facing stuff for, hey, you're 240 pounds, you're 5'7", also being able to say like, hey, here's stuff that I work on for outside of the school. Here's stuff that I want to share with, if you share this with colleges. There's a place where players or coaches can stick in just their general like size of their clothes. Which there's also a place here for contact details of not just the player, also the parents. Finally, one thing that's pretty cool is you can assign players positions or position groups. And then when you go look on your positions page, you can see, okay, I've got a position called Joker. It's related to outside linebackers, and Jack and Isaac and D-Test are all part of that Joker position. Coaches have mostly the same abilities. You can say, all right, this is an assistant coach. He works with running backs, quarterbacks, tackles, whatever it is. We all have our different strengths, and my best coaching happens behind a computer. This team development stuff is really powerful. I think one of the things I just want to show real quickly is installs. So I can make an install that is basically I can add plays, I can add formations, I can add questions. So here I've made 3-step, deep, mid-range pass stuff. I've done slot fade, verticals, and I've also added a formation. I can pull up a presentation on these things. So once I have those pictures, which it's not that I had to add these directly to the pictures. If I have any sort of media on any of these items, then it'll pull it up and then you can scroll through them. Lastly in here, and I think this is one of the ones that's just amazingly powerful for coaches, if I go into activity, I can see who as a player has shared this, or excuse me, viewed it. And then last, as a coach, I can come in here and I can see exactly he viewed 2 out of 3 for 4 seconds, and then duration on each one. There's a place for attendance. We're using that for weightlifting right now. Defense, you can stick in your formations and fronts, your fronts and your plays. This offensive view gives you pretty much everything that you need to see from your offensive side. Here's trap. I can go to my trap concept really quickly. I'm in I formation. I can look through all my I formation plays. There's a place for scheduling practices, game planners, about creating kind of call sheets and play scripts. Big Board's all about being able to share your own team if you're kind of under high school, and then if you're in the college age, have targets and what your team looks like and be able to track it. For smaller colleges, it's just like the feedback was, hey, we're using sticky notes, Google Sheets, and text messages. So this was a way to combine all those things. The file manager gives you a place to kind of look through playlists that you've put on here or your video.